Alright, today we are on the Heybike Mars 3.0. This is a 20 by 4 inch fat tire folding e-bike. We got the front and rear basket on there, and we're gonna ride it today, and I'm gonna show you all about it. This thing actually has quite a bit of power. It's got front suspension and rear suspension. So this has 95 Newton meters of torque. I would guess it probably has a 750 watt motor. It feels really powerful though. Looks like it's already unlocked. And it does cut out at 28 miles per hour on the display, which is about 27 miles per hour with GPS. And you can do that with throttle or pedal assist. Now this does have a torque sensor. And this is a pretty good pedaling bike with 8 speeds. Very comfortable ride. I really like the pedaling of this. And this is also a folding fat tire e-bike. So if you need that extra room in your garage, or you're loading it up in a sedan, then you have that option. Now if you have the baskets on here, it might make it a little bit harder to fold. And when I got this bike, they did not supply the hardware to move the headlight to the front basket. They told me that I should leave it where it normally connects to the front fork. But unfortunately, if you do that, the basket's going to smash the headlight. I don't know why they told me that. So I had to go to the hardware store, get a bolt and washer for this. Heybike sent me this bike. It's the Heybike Mars 3.0. But they also said that they didn't have the hardware for connecting this headlight to the basket or the extension cable. And they couldn't provide it to me. Apparently they're working on a solution, or they already have a solution for this, but when I got my bike, I didn't get the extension cable or the right bolt to connect here. And I don't have any bolts that will fit this. It is a M6, so 6mm bolt. I do have those, but I don't have any shorties, so I did find a screw that's the right length, which I'll take with me to the hardware store. This is a 5mm bolt, but I need a 6mm bolt, but this is the right depth. So it'll fit in this hole. So I know this is the size I need. So then I can connect the headlight to here, where it should be. They told me, no, it's supposed to be installed down there at the fender. Well, the problem with that is when the suspension compresses, it would smash the light, and that would be no good. So technically you should install this up on the front basket. And then I have an extension cable. It's a 5-pin green connector. That'll be here tomorrow from Amazon, and that will allow me to extend the cable up to the front. So they did say they would reimburse me for the parts. The cable's like $10, and the bolt's probably going to be like $1, if that. But we're going to go to the hardware store now, get that bolt. We're headed to the Ace Hardware. The closest one to my house is like, I don't know, 15 minutes away, 20 minutes away. But yeah, I haven't been to an Ace Hardware in I don't know how long. So we might spend a little bit of time in that store. I just got to get one bolt. That's all I need. M6 for that front basket to connect the headlight to it. So that's where we're going. I got the Meta Ray-Bans on, so we should be able to do this pretty incognito. Alright, here we go. We are going to, oh, is this where you turn in? Where do you turn in at? Enter only. Okay, that's where we're going. Is there a good spot around here for me? I've never been to this Ace Hardware, so I'm interested to see what it's like. It looks really small, and there's a spot right here, which will be perfect. And we're just gonna run in here and grab a bolt. All right, we're in the bolt area. I think I found the bolt I need. All right, we are good. We got my one bolt. So now we can install the headlight from Heybike. Now I'm gonna order food. All right, we made it back from the hardware store. There's the bolt, and we're gonna put the Heybike headlight on real quick. I need a little bit bigger washer, but there we go. Now we got the headlight on the front. That's all I needed to do. Now we are riding an Eco in Eco, you can get full power. Now let's go up to Boost, or Turbo, they call it Turbo, and we're going up a hill here, so hey, look at a little baby deer, a little bitty, hey. Now you can hear the motor on this bike and the tires. It's got knobbies, and the motor's really loud, which is okay. I mean, that's kind of a safety feature because people will hear you coming, and it needs to be loud to be able to get that torque and climb these hills. Now the other thing we're doing today is we're going to be doing a comparison of this versus the Ingwe EP2 3.0. They're very similar bikes. They're both folding fat tire e-bikes. I think the Heybike might have a little bit more power than the Ingwe, but we'll see. I charged the battery last night for that and brought it with me. So once we're done riding this, we'll swap and I'll do the comparison portion of that video. Now my plan is to go all the way around the trail. We're going to try to do 2 full laps on this trail if we can. Now the seat on the Heybike Mars 3.0 is not very comfortable. It's a standard bike seat, not anything special. It doesn't have any major padding in it or anything like that. So this ride's going to be pretty rough at the end. And then I got to do it again. So it's going to be hard for me to stay at that top speed on this trail because it is small and windy, and I want to be cautious of everybody. And there's a lot of debris in the road and stuff, and you don't even really notice it with the fat tires and the suspension. Yeah, the suspension is really, really nice. You're definitely going to need to upgrade the kickstand because the kickstand does not go low enough to hold up the weight of the baskets. Now I do really like the color display. It has turn signals as well on the front and back. No indication though on the screen, and no noise to let you know that they're blinking, so there's a good chance you're probably going to forget unless you look at this little indicator. So I'm surprised they didn't put turn signals on the display or make some kind of noise so you could hear them, but at least they have turn signals on the front and back. The headlight has turn signals built into it, which is really nice. The other thing, it's got really nice hydraulic brakes. It does have a trigger shifter, and it does have a Shimano Alta derailleur, which is a step up from most budget e-bikes. And this is a budget e-bike. This is currently on their website. It's $11.99, so $1,200 for this bike, which is a great deal. Now, I'm a little late to the game. This has been out for like 6 months. I reviewed the Mars 1.0 and the Mars 2.0, so I can kind of judge the differences. But this has a lot of features that those two do not. I do like that this has a torque sensor. I do wish it had both though, and that you could change it from torque and cadence and decide which one you want, but you're stuck with torque with this bike. It doesn't have that option. It does have a horn, pretty loud. If you're going to be riding this on a bike trail like I am today, you probably want to throw a bell on here. Luckily for us, this trail is never ever that busy. It is a Friday, it's Juneteenth, so I'm off work. But we'll stop and take a look at the Heybike Mars 3.0 in a few minutes once we get to the end of this trail. Now you're going to hear these NFC cards clanking around. Yeah, this bike has NFC. You have to have the card to be able to ride it. So if you leave it somewhere, lock it up of course, but they can't take off with it if they did steal it without that card. Great safety feature. I like seeing that most e-bike companies are starting to implement that. One thing I do not like is that some of these bikes, and almost all of them, you can't disable the NFC card. So if you didn't want to use the NFC card all the time, if you weren't worried about theft, if you don't plan on ever leaving it, no matter what, you still have to have the card with you. I wish that they would give you the option to at least disable it if you wanted to. Now I love that this has full suspension, so you don't have to have a suspension seat post. The rear suspension should be more than adequate to provide a nice soft cushion. I would definitely recommend changing out the seat though. It is not that comfortable. Now this is a half push throttle. Normally they would put a thumb throttle on the left hand side because you have trigger shifters, but this is actually not too bad to ride with a trigger shifter. Sometimes the throttle is so close to the trigger that your thumb like rubs on it and that kind of hurts. Now with the cargo baskets, you can load up a lot of stuff in here. Front basket's pretty big, rear basket's huge. So if you are looking to maybe do DoorDash or use these for grocery runs or something like that, I like how the display changes colors depending on what mode you are, so you don't have to rely on seeing that little bitty lettering. You can just look at the colors and know. Green's Eco, blue is Tour, Trail yellow, Sport is orange, and Turbo is red. But yeah, they made me go buy the hardware for the front headlight to attach it to the basket up here. They did not include that, so buyer beware. Maybe they're going to make that change, I don't know. This is the Heybike 3.0. The Heybike 1.0 was super popular. I did several videos about that, and it was about the time when I was first starting my channel. I really appreciate Heybike taking the chance and letting me review their bike, and here we are reviewing the third version of that one, which I actually like a whole lot more. Now I myself do not need a folding e-bike. I can store it in my garage. I have bike racks, but I know that a lot of you like these, especially if you can fold them up and put them in like an apartment or something. They don't take up a lot of room that way. Start pedaling some more here. Maybe that'll help my butt not hurt so bad. We're getting pretty fast on Eco. Doesn't look like it's really limited by miles per hour. And I'm pedaling lightly. Now let's slow down here completely. And let's just pedal lightly and see what happens. Yeah, definitely a torque sensor. But if you put more power into it, you're going to get faster speed and more power at the pedals. It's like riding a normal bike, which a lot of people prefer. And it's not, most of the time folding bikes are not really great pedalers, but this is pretty decent. But right now the Heybike Mars 3.0 is $11.99. Now I will have a coupon code and I will leave that in the description. So if you are interested in checking out this bike, I do want to do my, yeah, see, this is an off-road trailer right here. Lots of little trails over there. Let's go through the sand here. Okay, I was gonna stop right here, but it's sunny, so we'll find somewhere else to stop to talk about the Heybike Mars. Yeah. Now we started the day with 54.6 on the dial. It was fully charged. On this display, it does tell you the battery reading and the voltage right on the display. You can also see your average time, your total time, max speed, odometer reading, trip, and all that. Heybike does have an app where you can go in and unlock the bike. And Heybike has grown a lot since the first Mars. They have so many new models and lots of different types of rides. They have like just as many as like Velotric does. So many different options. Folding fat tire bikes, commuters, like just little bitty dirt bikes. They have a little bitty dirt bike. Tons of different options if you guys are interested in picking up a Heybike. We'll be stopping down here somewhere, because it's pretty shady down in this part of it. So this is a 15-mile long trail from the van all the way around back to the van again. It's 15 miles. We measured it the last time we were here. So we'll be doing about 30 miles today. Which is nice. I'm going to try to pedal a little bit more. The only thing I don't like about the Heybike Mars are the handlebars. They're just straight across. There's nothing to it. Very basic. Now they do rise with the lifting stem. And these fold too, so you got that option. But there are better options out there if you want to swap this whole configuration out. Do your research. Says we went 5 miles so far on my watch. Average speed 13 miles per hour. We've been out here 23 minutes. We'll definitely have enough juice to make it back to the van. I'll give you the final total on the voltage and the battery percentage. Let's go ahead and stop right here. Today we're checking out the Heybike Mars 3.0. It's a full suspension folding fat tire e-bike. It's got 20 by 4 inch Chaoyang tires. They're knobbies, they're good for off-road. Not the best tires in the world, but they'll do for a budget bike like this. Currently on Heybike's website, this is $11.99, which is a really good price for what you're getting with this bike. Has a torque sensor. It's a really good pedaler. It's got an 8-speed gear set with a Shimano Altus derailleur with trigger shifters. You know, the Heybike Mars is known for their little red accents on the wheels, which is pretty cool. That is just an accent. It doesn't really serve a purpose. It does have a rear rack and fenders. It is full suspension and it does fold, like I mentioned. And then here's the other side. It's got folding pedals, the frame folds, the handlebars fold down, all that. 180 millimeter rotors on the front and back. So pretty standard nowadays on e-bikes. I have the front basket and the rear basket installed. Both of these are an option if you are to purchase this bike. Here's the rear linkage suspension. Does have a shock and then a 4-point linkage system right here, which works really well. It's got a small front shock with like 60 millimeters of travel, so not a whole lot of suspension there. And they're not the best shocks in the world, but they do have a lockout on them. They have a preload and a lockout, but no micro adjustments on the suspension, so you get what you get with that. I like the wire management with Heybikes. They have this wrap that's branded that basically covers all the wiring. That's pretty nice. They had that on the very first version as well. And this is just a, you know, a plain Jane bike. They do have other colors. I think they have an orange one, one other color maybe, a couple other colors. I will throw pictures of those on the screen. And then up here on the display, we got our turn signal indicator right here, or turn signal switch, no indicator. And we have a horn right here. This is your color LCD display with all your controls, and your trigger shifters over here. It's an 8-speed trigger shifter with a half twist throttle and the hydraulic brake levers right here. And the levers, they're no name, they don't have a brand name on them, but they work really well. Another upgrade that you can do on this when you buy it is the seat. definitely don't want to ride on this for very long. It's not super comfortable. I definitely recommend upgrading that. And if you decide to, you can also upgrade the handlebars one day and swap the giraffe neck stem out for something else. Folding pedals, folding frame, folding handlebars, like I said. So we do have a single walled chain ring here. This thing looks like it's like a 52 tooth or something. It's pretty big. So that makes it really easy to pedal. So that gives you a lot of resistance with the 8-speed and the big cog on the front chain ring here. You're going to get quite a bit of resistance when you're pedaling, like you've seen in our ride so far. That's the Heybike Mars. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any questions at all, leave them down in the comments. If you want to see more e-bike content, I do have a lot coming out. And I will have one more video about this bike that I'm filming today, so it'll be out soon. It's the Heybike EP2 3.0 versus the Heybike Mars 3.0. Very similar bikes. There are some differences though, and we'll talk about those on the next ride. But that's the Heybike Mars. And real quick before I end this video, I do have to give a huge shout out to Rider Bag. They sent me both of these bags. I've had this one for a couple years now. Just got this one recently. This thing is packed to the brim with stuff. I bring this everywhere. It's heavy duty. Zippers are really nice. I got my drone in here and usually carry all my camera gear depending on what I'm doing. But I got tools and air pumps and everything in here. And I carry this around. It's super comfortable. I really like it. I like these patches up here. I got Lucy right here on the patch with me, and my film crew patch, and then I also have my Guardian Angel up here on a clip, magnetic clip. So yeah, I've been using the Rider bags. I love them. This one's a little bit bigger than this one. I carry this one a lot. It gets pretty heavy after I put all my tools and everything into it, but still very comfortable. I've never had any issues with my back hurting after wearing them. I like this one as well. It's super lightweight, and this one's a little bit more reflective. Yeah, Rider Bag, amazing bags. If you guys are interested, there's always a link in my description for them. They are one of my channel sponsors. I love their gear. Me, Ethan, and Jessica, we all use their bags. They have a blue one and a pink one of this one that they use all the time, and I always use this one. This is just the right size for me for all the camera gear I carry. Check the link in the description if you're interested. They're made very well. They've been holding up to my abuse, and I use these every ride almost, and they've been phenomenal. And I feel safe having them too, because they are really reflective, and the cars are going to see you when you have that on. So I had to give them a huge shout out. They've been with me for years, and I've been using their new bag for months now, and I love it. It's my everyday carry right there.